Joining me now, our House Ways and Means Committee Chairman, Congressman Jason Smith. Mr. Chairman, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to kick it off with what you just heard from Hakeem Jeffries. Your reaction?
You know, Hakeem wanted to raise taxes on every single American 21 percentage points. It's what they campaigned on. I guess Hakeem is upset that gas prices are the lowest it's been in 5 years. And I guess Hakeem is upset that President Trump and House Republicans have brought down inflation to the lowest level in 5 years. I guess he loved what happened under President Biden with the 20% inflation crisis.
Yeah, I mean, we did have inflation at 40-year highs under Joe Biden, and things feel pretty good in terms of economic growth. Do you believe this is what will headline the president's State of the Union address on Tuesday night?
Absolutely. I think the president will go over his year-long accomplishments. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, tax relief for seniors, creating the Trump investment accounts, 100% expensing for new factories. These are all things that President Trump campaigned on and he's delivered in. But not to mention, he has helped resolve world conflicts in more than 8 different situations. And when you look at the murder rate in the United States, last year dropped to the lowest level since 1900. President Trump is delivering results, and he's going to highlight those without a doubt.
That's incredible on the murder rate. President Trump also reminded voters of all of this on Truth Social that tax refunds this year will be, quote, substantially greater than ever before, due to his signature legislation, the One Big Beautiful Bill, which he signed into law after Congress agreed. The IRS is reporting that the average refund is more than $2,000. That's up about 11% from last year. So tell me about that, Mr. Chairman. Are we going to see continued benefits from the Big Beautiful Bill? What are you expecting in terms of what we will see in 2026 that we may not have felt yet?
You absolutely will. Right now, as American taxpayers are filing their taxes, they are facing the largest tax refund season in the history of America. You're looking at more than a $400 billion worth of tax dollars. It's going to be refunded. And why is that happening? It's because we made sure that the provisions within the One Big Beautiful Bill started on January 1st of last year. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, the tax relief for seniors. And, you know, just this past week, in our congressional district, I heard from an individual that was going to see over a $6,000 tax refund because of the no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, how drastically that benefited their bottom line. But the good thing about it is, if you just look at wages in the last year have risen for Americans more than the 4 years combined under President Biden. So these are real results that really affect the affordability of Americans to put food on their table, clothes on their backs, and gasoline in their cars.
Yeah, while Americans see the bigger tax refunds under the president's policies, Democrats are already looking for ways to take more of that money back. They're pushing for new taxes on the wealthy. They're calling success a, quote, addiction to greed. Watch this.
Do you know what the most significant addiction crisis in America is today? It is the greed of the billionaire class. Billionaires should start paying their fair share of taxes.
The path that we want to pursue is working with Albany to raise taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers, the most profitable corporations, by that little bit more. If we do not have that state action, then the only tools that the city has at its disposal is a property tax increase.
So you see what's going on in New York with Mamdani wanting to raise property taxes by almost 10%. You see what's going on in California where they've got this wealth tax. Give us your assessment of where this is going, because there are a lot of Democrat states that are trying to do the opposite of what you and your colleagues have done.
Without a doubt, Maria, the Democrats have not found a tax increase that they did not like. If you look at blue states such as California, New York, Illinois, they're not only trying to raise taxes on the wealthy, they're trying to raise taxes on working families. For example, they are not going to honor the no tax on tips. They're not going to honor the no tax on overtime or the no tax on Social Security. Why would they do that when they say that they want to deliver for working families? They're doing it because they just want more of the Americans' hard-earned tax money so that they can spend it, because they believe, Maria, they can spend your money better than you can.
But I don't understand that. I mean, if it's law, it's law. How would they not follow the big, beautiful bill after it has been passed into law?
It's absolutely crazy. But, of course, they have their individual state income taxes, and it can either reflect the federal tax code or it may not. They're choosing to make sure that it does not reflect the federal tax code in providing exemptions for no tax on tips, overtime, Social Security, some of the best provisions within the one big beautiful bill.
So, Mr. Chairman, before you go, what is the real catalyst that breaks the deadlock and reopens government now that we see Department of Homeland Security is still closed?
You know, it's absolutely so disappointing. The rationale for the Democrats to shut down government once again, they're doing it because they're fighting not for U.S. citizens, for illegal citizens. If you remember back in October, we had a 43-day shutdown because they wanted to fight for health care for illegals. Now they're fighting under ICE. They don't want illegals to be sent out of the United States. It's absolutely crazy. They're forgetting about all those federal workers that work for FEMA, TSA, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Secret Service. These are things that they are defunding. It does not make sense, Maria, that they shut down and not funded the Department of Homeland Security to defund ICE. But because, guess what? ICE was funded for 4 years in the big, beautiful bill. They're not defunded right now.
Right, exactly. All right, we'll be watching that and the impact of that shutdown on DHS. Congressman, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here.
It's great to be with you, Maria.
All right, Chairman Jason Smith.